Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play some Ostranauts. And it's been a while since I've been on this ship due to some things that were going on in the real world. But I'm hoping that we can sort of move past that today and make some progress on what we were doing. And to my recollection, what we were doing was building out the Silent Majority, a new ship that I purchased and effectively stripped down to nothing. And we're going to build something kind of nice and try to sell that for a profit and see what we can do there. Now, I had installed a couple of pieces. I had installed a couple of doors, and if I recall, I was going to put a bridge in this area. The transponder is in working condition and sitting here, and I've been kind of playing with some ideas on how I'd want it to look, and I can't really come up with anything that I love in this configuration. I don't know, maybe I just need to give it another minute or two. But I think what I'm going to do for now is go and strip some doors and parts off of another ship, collect those, and then come back and start a more massive build out on this. I don't know how big this will be. I don't think it's going to be quite as big as this one. I don't think I'm going to put a reactor on it. But that is kind of the plan. So for right now, I have to release the tow brace if we're going to go anywhere. Otherwise, we'll just be pulling it with us. And that wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing. I am a little bit farther out from the asteroid than would be, ideal for doing a lot of work on it. But in the meantime, I've had some problems with ships drifting into the asteroid or at least disappearing on me. So maybe I should just let it keep its distance for now and not try to get all fancy there. So this will take just a second. There we go. Bring him in here. I probably can take off helmets and things like that for now. No need to be wasting the oxygen and whatnot. And our good friend over here, Emma, is watching TV. That's Emma's prerogative. I might clean up Emma just a little bit here while I've got them under control. They are doing their own thing. Auto task. Let's turn that off. Okay, so we'll see if we can file away some of these parts that Emma is carrying. And yeah, I don't think that's the right spot for me anyway. That kind of, I do run into that error once in a while if I try to move something directly from a hand to a bag. It's possible this bag is full. Doesn't look like it though. Scrap carbon fiber. Definitely doesn't look like it. Scrap steel. Emma was just repairing a, what would that be? A thruster. She was repairing a thruster for us. Literally only a few minutes has passed since the end of the last video. I did a couple of little maintenance things. I noticed I had lights in a weird place down here. Was there anything else I did? I think that was really about it. And otherwise, I was kind of just working through my head how I want to plan this out up here. And I guess I'm going to need to continue on that path a little bit because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet. Okay, I did move lights into this, I think in the last episode, and conduit goes in its own place. Are these the same kind? They are. That's good. I don't think it's a horrible thing to be holding on to a few pieces of conduit. And there's some flooring for this ship. I think I might just set that over here for now, as it will probably get used in the very near future. Where'd it go? There it is. Put it there. Okay. I think Emma can go and watch TV or do whatever the heck Emma wants to do. We're going to go back over here and start to pilot away. All right. So what I was saying, I'm a little further away from Ganymede than I want it to be. How far is that? 137 kilometers. So, I mean, it's not ridiculous. Yeah, I do have the right target there. It's not ridiculous distance. I think if it was much further out here, like where these guys are, maybe I would go ahead and pull it in. Last time I tried to park about 50 kilometers from the asteroid, and as you may know if you've been following along, the ship was there in one episode, and an episode and a half later it was gone, and I do not know what happened to it. We're going to assume that it either was collided with and it got knocked, or I just miscalculated how long it would take to drift and mess something up, and it did its thing. So Generally, what I've been doing is kind of picking a distance from the asteroid and then zeroing out the rates, and that should be enough. If you don't want to do it to the station because the station's technically moving around the asteroid, so you'll always have some motion there because it's in motion. But if you set it to the asteroid, I would hope that it would be relative at that point, and that just didn't seem to be the case. So it's what it is. So we'll come over here. I'm thinking we visited the Cowboy Fortress recently. Here's one out here that's, you know what, let's go do some fun, haven't been there yet kind of exploring. So that will be our new target. We are going to request clearance to undock and get out of here. Okay, first step, back away. Okay, that's in progress, and now we'll start to drift in that direction. And we should be clear enough to set our bearing and things like that however we'd like. I am not terribly good at moving in two dimensions at once. I tend to like to focus on one and then square up the others. Some of you are much more talented at this than I am and can kind of eyeball all of that, and that is fantastic. It's just not a skill I have. So I tend to match bearing first, and then I will zero out the lateral rate. And then at this point we're accelerating 200 meters a second, which will give us 23 minutes to get there at a distance of 142 kilometers. Okay, well, there's not a whole lot to do on my ship right now. I pulled these off of a cart. Is this one still? It still needs to be repaired. So let's see what we can do there. Could be, no, he's able to do it. I had kind of assigned Emma to do that, and it didn't get done. So it is what it is. I've said that twice now. I'll try not to say that any more this episode. How's that sound? And taking his sweet time getting that done, but we should be there any second now. Is this one in good shape? That one is in good shape. So this one now probably needs restore. All right, that's coming along. And I think we'll just toss those back on the cart then. The two carts basically are currently holding stuff that will end up being used on the other ship, primarily walls, because it's an easy way to store walls. You don't have a lot of options with storing walls, but this will get those out of the way. And yeah, once I have a little more flooring in on that new ship, we will have some options on leaving stuff behind and probably adding some crates that are just holding things. Maybe move some of these out is what we might do. These are all parts that potentially could... Wow, these are all damaged, aren't they? I need to auto-task him for a bit. Frankly, I need to auto-task Emma for a bit too. She should be working on that. The overall idea is to make a decent ship that'll sell for a few bucks, and the more we can do to improve its value, the better. So I have plenty of thrusters. I've got some pumps. We'll need to add a couple of intakes. I don't think I have any of those right now. If we happen to stumble upon another Hydra, that is always a huge bonus. What I noticed on the previous flip that I tried was that it increased the value by about 100,000 K when I added a Hydra. Now, the chances are that Hydra moved it up a maneuverability category or something like that, and that's why it was as impactful as it was. I'm not sure you will always see that kind of change, but it's good to know that that is taken into account, and that you will see some benefits there of doing that. So, okay, let's focus on this so I don't slam into the ship. As we have all learned, I am not terribly good at talking and steering a ship in 3 dimensions. Well, no, it's 2 dimensions. You really only have 2 degrees of freedom, right? We go side to side and then we have a in and out, I guess. So we can pick our speed up just a little though. I like to be around 50. And then it's a matter of zeroing out those numbers in the lower left as best you can. And it's an interesting exercise because the numbers are related. You change one, you intrinsically change the other one, and that makes it a little more challenging. I wish there was a hotkey for doing clamps instead of having to find it with the mouse. I'm not aware of there being one. This looks like it's going to be a small ship. Oh, wow. Okay, great name. Yeah, let's not try to catalog match that with a search engine or anything. That could be a little awkward. Acknowledge me. Oh, that's even better. Yeah, loving that. Okay, so this is a very small ship. We are probably... Oh, and it has likely a pirate? What's it say? Law enforcement officer. It has a law enforcement officer on board. Well, we're not going to be taking anything from this ship. Good to find out that it's in the neighborhood, but I think we'll probably go without pursuing this one at all. Let's see what else we can find. One thing I haven't done a lot of is you can hail those ships. So we can say local, I think local channel is the best way to go. Nope. Ask for status. Static. Okay. Well, we're just going to make this easy. We're going to undock, find something else to go and play with. Back and away. Okay. That should give us plenty of room. Rotate around. Not bad. I'll take that. That's pretty good. Another 30 minutes or so from this one. Might be able to drop that to about 25. Oh, we can get below that. Okay, 22 minutes. And can I clean this up at all without... I can. Make that a little closer. There we go. We'll take that 0.18 off. We're just going to stay on this screen. Fast forward to... Well, that's going to be over a minute. So let's see what else we can do here. Well, Emma is finding things to do. That's good. We can do some repair on flooring and walls here. Keep everything in tip-top shape. Okay, that's good to know. That is not an installed cooler. It probably needs parts that I may not have right now. Here's a couple of thrusters. So yeah. We should be getting close now. Okay, not as close as I thought. Let's jump out of here. Go see if we can get Emma to explicitly work on some of these thrusters. Cancel what she's doing and then tell her to repair. That's a good sign. I think. Except she doesn't seem to actually be doing the work. There we go. So I've noticed that since a couple of builds ago or updates ago, it isn't uncommon for them to like get stuck walking towards something, and I can't get them to, oops, I don't want to do anything to the floor there. And at that point, I'm unable to comply. That could be because we don't have a part. That is possible. We're going to assume that's what's going on there. We'll try this one. She's okay with working on that. So yeah, they tend to get stuck like walking, and that seems to be new. I don't remember seeing that in the past pretty much at all. I thought they're usually pretty fluid with how they would move around. I do know they've updated some pathing in a recent build. I don't really pay real close attention to the subs. I know we've been on 14 for a while, and I'm kind of looking forward to 15 coming out. I'm going to restart my getting started series, because there have been so many UI changes, and all of those for the good. But they've also made some changes on like character creation now. It's a little different. They've added extra, I think hair was the big thing that they made some changes on. I clicked the wrong thing and we are moving. We need to get this taken care of. They added hair from a mod. They had a modder that was doing a lot of hairstyles in that, and they got together and made a deal on how they would work that into the actual core of the game. There's been some changes to pathing, which I think every game always wishes their pathing was a little better. I do know I've run into times where they just won't go where I think they should go, and yeah, that's good that they're working on that. They're trying to do a little more hardening before they move into the next phase of development, and that's good to see. Dan has a video out on some of the changes. Came out a little earlier this month. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to check it out. It's on Steam. I think you can probably find it on their Discord, a couple of other places. All right, we are docked with the Silent Majority. That's our ship. Is that what I had intended to come find? Did I really just do that? I sure did. I think I meant to click down here. Yeah, I think I was going to pass right. Maybe that's what was happening there. Although this is what I have selected. I don't know. Boy, it's been a bit rough week and a half, guys. So I'm not really. Well, this isn't the Silent Majority, though, is it? Did I accidentally change my ship name to Silent Majority? Is that what's going on here? Current target is Silent Majority. Is it possible there's two ships called the Silent Majority? Because there's definitely a body on that one. Okay, this is a little weird. I haven't run into this if that's what's going on. Let's take one more look here. Silent Majority, yep. Silent Majority. There are two ships with the same name. Different IDs, but the same name. Okay. Well, that I can swallow a little better than. That was freaking me out there for a second. So let's go ahead and target this one. Yeah, like I said, it looks like there's been some foul play here maybe. We'll have to take a look. Let's get our helmet on. We'll worry about cataloging all of that later. How are we? Decent on battery. Enough to do what we're going to do here. Okay, so we have some pumps that look like they're in good shape. That's going to be that is a pump. Okay, we have a ton of nitrogen canisters, another air pump, and then we have Catherine, who looked like, yeah, that they look like they went through something pretty brutal. We'll take a look and see what we can figure out. Maybe it was just sudden decompression. poisoned. That seems to be the way a lot of these folks go in Ostranauts. And it's a little disappointing. You would think that we'd be beyond a lot of that if we were spacefaring, wouldn't you? Anyway, I guess there's always going to be somebody who wants to get something more than what they have. So here is an intake that will need to be repaired, but that's something we might be able to grab. Okay, again, a little strange. I have not seen where there are ships with the same name before. I will say that the video update from Blue Bottle did indicate that there were some spawning issues that they were experiencing, and I wonder if maybe this is a side effect of that. I don't know. I don't know that it's a big deal. They have different identification numbers, so that's good. I'm just trying to get a feel for what else might be here. That's why I'm kind of wandering around in circles. There's a battery. There's another air pump. So I think we'll grab a couple of these pumps and get out of here. Take that intake. I'm not sure there's a whole lot to do for Ms. I think, is it Karen? Catherine. Ms. Catherine here. We will take her PDA though and get it back. Yeah, there's disappointing here. I don't know. What do you do? If you're in the future and you come across a ship with a body, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? You know, your job is to scavenge and survive and try to thrive. We didn't have anything to do with it. We didn't see who had anything to do with it. I don't know. Good ethical question. What are your thoughts? What's going to happen in the future when somebody comes across a derelict with a body that's in what we would consider, international waters, so to speak? I suppose maritime law might tell us what will happen, at least what's supposed to, but nonetheless, if you watch The Expanse, as you know, that refusing to answer a signal is a big no-no, and that kind of kicks off that whole series to some extent. But that's not this. So let's go ahead and try repairing this in place. It's missing a motor. All right. Well, we'll have to go get a motor. I would have to think we have a motor. I usually collect those. So we'll take a look at that. I suppose I can start marking things to be uninstalled. That's probably a good way to go. And let's go ahead and just finish that part up here today. Do equipment. Uninstall. We want to uninstall that. Don't know if that took. We'll take a pump. We'll take, what else was over here? There were more pumps down here. Yeah, we'll certainly take a turbo pump. We'll go ahead and grab that one. If nothing else, we can just either store them or save them or sell them. Sell them is what I meant to say. I don't think I'm really interested in going after all the nitrogen right now. It is really profitable when you're early on and you're trying to pay things off. I'm pretty comfortable right now. I'm looking to make hundreds of thousands on a trip as opposed to, hundreds. And yeah, so I'm not sure if it's totally worth our time. Maybe something to reconsider in the future, but for now I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. And let's get him auto-tasked, and we'll see if we can get Emma to put a helmet on. Now, supposedly, if I tell her to auto-task and she goes up that way, she should put her own helmet on. And she did. There we go. That's good. That's good to see. She took care of herself there. She's running low on battery, too. I'm going to have to be mindful of that as we move forward. And as these pieces end up being uninstalled, I'm going to want to haul them. So they become loose when you uninstall them. So that works just a little differently. I can't, we'll see if there's anything up there. There's one. And we'll haul that. And when he's done here, we will haul that. They're taking them all the way over there. I'd forgotten about that. I'm pretty sure I had done that. I'd moved all the hull stuff way over. And let's bounce back to Chad. I'm just a little more comfortable dealing with him. Emma's already sitting down and eating popcorn or something. Bring him back over. Whoops, that's not trying to set an order. Just want to come over here. I mean, there's a piece of me that just wants to grab all this floor. That's where the ethical dilemma is. Here's a body. Do I just say, oh, too bad, pick up the floor around him? I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. But I think this is a good place to stop on this one. So we learned something new. You can have ships with the same name. And it's a little distracting if you're not expecting it. So there's our lesson learned today. I might go ahead and get stocked up, get them. Okay, now they're working on this stuff. That's good. I might get them kind of stocked up with oxygen and battery, and I'm going to consider if I want to go ahead and grab all this flooring. I might take a look around and see if I have decent space to store it. I know a lot of these are actually full, so we'll take a peek at that. And I do appreciate it that you have joined me on this journey. I look forward to talking with you next time, and until then, fair travels.